All right, so here we go again. I found another USA Trains 70-ton hopper, and you can see where previous owner spray painted the car. So I got some denatured alcohol here. Again, I have no idea how long this spray paint has been on here. So this might not work if you try to do this yourself. If you try to do it yourself, do it with a car you don't care about. So let's see. Just gonna put some on where the labels are. Let it soak for a minute. This is kind of like a stiff bristle brush. You can see some color coming out through here. I am scrubbing, just to let you know. And you can see the paint edges. I don't know if you can, but I can. I think I'm going to do to this car what I did to the other one, which is not fully clean it off. I'll see how that works. Go. If I continue to scrub, I'll see the whole label. Looks pretty good. Again, has denatured alcohol. And I did end up weathering the other car. I added some rust to it. So just because as you can see how you can see like the peel effect right here. I'm gonna do that in just some random spots also. Just let it soak in. Because reasons. So when I get done with this, I'll throw it on the Lazy Susan and show you the end result using the denatured alcohol. All right, so I'm doing something a little differently on this one. This time I actually let the denatured alcohol air dry. So you can see where it looks like the paint's peeling here, basically because it is, in the random spots. I'm gonna paint those spots rusty, like big giant rust spots. So I'm gonna move on to some weathering here shortly. And I'll show you how I do that. I don't get too silly or crazy. So yeah. Looks like there must have been some sort of brown on the paintbrush when I started, which is fine. All right, so back at it here. I'm using a little bit of denatured alcohol. You can see as it starts to air dry, it looks like just water run. The original color of this car was brown, so I figured I'd bring out some rust here and there and now and again in places. So all I'm doing is dipping my brush in the denatured alcohol and just wiping, starting at the top, wipe down. And then I'm letting it air dry, going right over the decals I just put on this morning. So I know this is a different car than what I was doing before, but I'm gonna put that car back in here. I kind of like this look. because that dries and it'll stay like that. The denatured alcohol is working really well. And I can actually, if I rub it gently, I can bring out the original decals that were on the car. Because if you look at the other side, which I have not touched yet. Okay, I lied, I did touch it, but as I bring in here, you can see the numbers. This was a New York Central car. So let me expose like the 44 here. Just scraping a little bit. And it takes the paint off. It shows a little bit of rust in the back, but I'm scraping kind of hard because I'm in a rush. And then that little bit of black gets on the decal I just put on. I just run it the other way, just because reasons. But yeah, this denatured alcohol method here it's kind of cool. It's working really well. I'm happy. So back to the B&O car, I'm just getting a nice layer of denatured alcohol on everything because it leaves a cloud. There's the chassis system, which used to be New York Central. They just left the labels on and painted over them, you know, kind of like they did with the B&O here. But then I'm kind of just wiping down from the top, and whatever happens, happens. Wherever it lands is wherever it lands. But with that car being brown, you know, it had a distinct advantage. This one I think is just, instead of making things brown and rusty, I think I'm just gonna make it look dirty, and who doesn't like things that are dirty? All right, so here's the end result. Chassis system. I don't know if it's coming through on video or not, but it looks dirty. It's not so shiny anymore. I might rust up the trucks and the wheels and the couplers, but I'm pretty happy with it. And here's the B&O. This one's very subtle, but I'm happy with it. I might add some more rust here and there, just with a wash. You know, paint watered down and brush it on. I don't know, we'll see. All right, so yeah, I've decided to do the wash. So all I did was squirt out some of this paint. This is brown oxide. That's the brush I'm gonna use. Throw some water in there. It looks like poop now. And then just kind of mash it around. All I'm doing is watering the paint down. I got this brush that I basically ruined with the denatured alcohol. I might throw some red in there. Let's see what we got. There's apple red. Red it up a little bit. I don't like it. I mean, it looks kind of rusty, I guess. Too much red. So, just add some more brown. I mean, the paint's not expensive. You can get it at Walmart. Now this is a little bit thicker of a wash than I would normally do. Normally I really water it down. Like, really water it down. That's not bad. That's like a red rust. Here's all I'm gonna do. Just take that brush and I'm just gonna dab it. And when it settles and dries, and I don't care if I get paint on the flanges, I run all battery power, so I'm just gonna do that. Maybe I'll flick some. It's a technique I learned from somebody. There you go. Flick some dirt on there. Yeah, some rust spots. Whatever. Get it on my hands. It's messy. That's kind of why I like it. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to do this to the trucks, and then to the wheels. Maybe get some splash up here. I don't know. Get me getting all artsy fartsy. There's some splash. Got on there accidentally. I'm just going to leave it. Do it there too. Why not? Well, look, it's all up in there. And I mean, it's kind of hard to screw it up, I guess. Throw some paint on there. Just a little rust. And that'll dry up, and as it dries up, it'll settle into all the cracks and crevices and such and whatnot. We'll see you back in a few minutes after this dries. Maybe we'll do some more flicky flicks. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get this on video while I do it. I'm gonna do a big flick here. Too much? Maybe not enough. You know, sometimes you go through puddles when you're on the tracks. There you go. I like it. All right, so here's the end result. I may have cheated here a little bit. I used a heat gun to dry it up because I'm running out of time. Those don't look bad. I went a little crazy with the splashy splash, but yeah, I've seen worse cars on the rails. That's not bad, but you can see what I mean about the paint settling in the crevasses, which is where it settles in anyway on the real thing. But I think that red wash really worked. That's about the best looking rust I've ever done, I think. But my opinion is the only one that matters because it's, well, my railroad. But I like it. Let's do the other one. And here's the real final result. My mocked up chassis system. It looks like a good mix on the trucks. Red rusty nastiness splashing up all over the place. Makes sense, right? So there you are. I like it. Looks better than new.